Welcome back to Channel 24 News with your host, Zeke Landis. Today we brought a special guest, Phil Swift. What have you brought to sell us today?
Thanks, Zeke. The Rust Ravager is a super strong rust prevention tape that can instantly eliminate rust. The Rust Ravager is no ordinary tape. Its triple layer composition includes chromium and nickel to prevent the oxidation process that creates iron oxide. Leaky pipes can cause major rust damage, but the Rust Ravager grips on tight and bonds instantly. Plus, the Rust Ravager's powerful adhesive is so strong, it even works underwater. Now you can repair rust on boats and docks without taking them out of the water. The Rust Ravager is perfect for cars too. Boats, buildings, and RVs. The Rust Ravager is super strong, and once it's on, it holds on tight. And for emergency rust repair, the Rust Ravager keeps its grip, even in the toughest conditions. Big storms can cause big rust damage, but the Rust Ravager comes super wide so you can easily patch large rust spots too.
Phil, I noticed how many iron objects rust every day. Rust is one of the most commonly seen chemical reactions in everyday life. From the green rust on the Statue of Liberty to the red flaking on your car. Rust is everywhere.
Well, Zeke, to explain rust, I'll introduce my leading scientist, Micah.
Rust is formed through a process of three different chemical equations. In order for it to form, the presence of iron, oxygen, and water are needed. Iron is an anode, meaning it easily gives up electrons. Oxygen is a cathode, meaning that it easily receives electrons, and water is an electrolyte solution that moves ions between oxygen and iron. When iron is dissolved into water, the reaction 2Fe yields 2Fe2 plus 4 additional electrons. This process is known as oxidation, which occurs when a substance loses electrons. Additionally, when oxygen dissolves into water, it reacts with the electrons released from the process of iron dissolving into water, creating the reaction oxygen plus 2H2O plus 4 electrons, yielding 4 hydroxide molecules. This process is known as reduction, which describes when a substance gains electrons. Next, the products of oxygen and iron dissolving in water react. This results in the chemical reaction of 2Fe plus 4 hydroxide molecules yielding iron hydroxide. Finally, the rust reaction is complete when the iron oxide reacts with the oxygen and the products of the chemical reaction, 2Fe iron hydroxide yielding iron oxide plus H2O. This reaction is called a redox reaction because it occurs from oxidation and reduction reactions.
Thanks, Micah. Now, how does this product affect the everyday world?
Well, to go more in depth, I'll introduce my analysis, Josh.
Thanks, Phil. Today let's talk about the impact of rust. When metals containing iron are exposed to air and water, they will rust. Metal is everywhere in today's world, and its stability determines the safety of objects like bridges, buildings, pipelines, and cars. As a result of much of society being built upon metal, rust has a tremendous impact on the economy. For example, when metal rusts, it becomes weaker. This is very problematic for companies in the oil and gas industry who must pump millions of dollars per year into preventing pipes from rusting and then bursting. Additionally, aside from the direct effect that rust has on the economy, it also indirectly affects the economy. Much of the machinery that is used in the production of goods and services are made of metals susceptible to rust. This can cause the life of the machinery that they use to significantly decrease and affect the production of goods and services. Furthermore, rust has had a significant cultural effect. Many artistic masterpieces like the Statue of Liberty have changed color due to the formation of rust. Museum workers and restorers have to put large amounts of labor to prevent the degradation of historical artifacts due to rust. These catastrophic effects need to be stopped, and they can be stopped with our product.
So, Zeke, what did you learn today?
Well, Phil, I learned that rust forms from a redox reaction on iron, and that the Rust Ravager is a great product.